Hello. I've got a little bit of sperm on my chin there. Sorry. New month starts tomorrow, boys. And you need to get ready because it's the 5th month of the year. Which means that in 6 months, no, in 8 months, the new year will begin. It's, you need to walk through life consciously if you want to experience it, and it goes by rather quickly. See these greys? I was thinking about if I were to give myself a mark out of 10 for... so next month basically this month is over and I actually got less views than I did in April. Might have gotten about 5,300 this month. April I might have gotten about 6,500. I'd aimed to get 11,000, but do you want to know why I didn't reach my goal and I actually got worse? Is because moving forward, say for example, in April I got views for a film review I did, 1,800 views. And then another video I did of the empty streets of Dublin, a 1 minute video, I got another 1,500 views or something, or 1,000 views or something. And also when I uploaded my film called I Told Him How I Felt, I lost maybe 6 subscribers, 5 subscribers, something like that. And I might have gained one back or something like that. So I like to imagine that all the people who subscribed from those 2 videos were empty streets / film review. Those people said, this guy seems to do a lot of comedy. I don't like comedy. I wanted him to do film reviews. And they unsubscribed. So of course I'm happy that they've unsubscribed. But what it's taught me is to narrowing down, and now I just feel like I'm narrowing down. And do you know what the crazy fucking thing is? My goal kind of for this month is to improve upon, because I Told Him How I Felt, I think is the best thing I've ever made. It's got 500 views. Obviously I've made stuff that's gotten bigger views, but it's just my opinion. Best thing I've ever made, right? I just want to beat that next month. And if I just keep on beating it, keep on basically achieving a new PB, personal best, the views should follow. And if they don't, that will be a whole other ball game, but they should follow. They will follow, of course. So I've begun to accept that my personality type, I've never been that materialistic or into money or whatever. But for some reason in my 20s, to compensate for my insecurities in my teens, I just got on this whole vibe of how to bang as many women as possible, let's get famous, let's get well known, let's get views, let's get rich. And of course I failed in most of those. I didn't fail in the female department, but I failed in the other departments, and that's all desperation actually, as opposed to inspiration. That is trying to compensate for something which happened to you a while ago, or some fucking trauma, and that's not a good reason to do something, to feel like, oh, I'm, you know, whatever the motivation is, I'm cool or I'm validated or whatever. The motivation to do it should be that you love it, you know? And then stuff starts to come together and make sense. It's just cool to, like, as you move through life, to know what you don't want to do. And so what my goal actually is, sincerely, is to make great stuff that I love, stuff similar to the stuff my heroes or idols, I don't want to even say that because I don't have any, but, you know, the Ricky Gervaises of the world and the people who got me into comedy, stuff like that they made. I want to get as close to that as I possibly can, you know. It's funny, I was on this TikToker's TikTok, and it kind of reminds me of the YouTube scene in like 2010. You know, you had this guy called Charlie McDonald. You had all these young 18-year-old kids who were doing this thing called YouTube and starting to get paid for it, and YouTube was an easier place to succeed in those days. And they got paid for it, and they, you know, bought houses off it and stuff, and a lot of their channels are dead now, but 10 years later a lot of their channels are dead. But I see this in TikTok now, where these guys are getting audiences off really not being totally talented, but like lip syncing and stuff, and more power to them, you know. And I'm sure monetary gain will come along the way for some of them. But it's interesting, I saw one of their bios said, I'm a be a star. I'm a be a star. Do you know this shit? I'm a be a star. It's like the way I think it's black people in America say it like that, like, you know, I'm a be a star. Do you know the way Irish people sometimes talk like Americans, and they'll say things like, oh, for the clout, or do it for the gram, or, you know, they'll say something like, you know, whatever these Americanisms are, like, you know, I don't even know what they are, but I'm a be a star. And it reminded of me when I was 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Delusional. Hopefully that guy will be a star, by the way. Hopefully he will be, and who am I to say he won't be? But it reminded me of me because I was delusional, and, you know, I like the fact that I was delusional. I think delusion is important. You have to think you're special, you know, to a certain degree, but now I'm just kind of focusing on, it's this idea of making it, isn't it? It's this idea of making it. What's making it? Colin Farrell was asked, what was your big break? Was your big break he was asked what was his big break, and then Kaiser goes, oh, it was Ballykiss Angel. Actually, do you know what though? No, it was this thing before that. Actually, do you know what? Before that, I got a little, and he works way down, and he just goes, do you know what? Every break is a big break, because I got this Cadbury's ad when I was fucking 21. I thought that was the best thing ever, you know? And every break allows you to move to the next level, and what is making it, you know? And when I used to go up to people and be provocative, because I was so sure I would make it. I used to go up to people and be provocative and say, are you going to be successful? And people would get really insecure about it, and people would not like the tone of the question, because obviously a lot of artists in Dublin are completely half-arse it, and they're never going to do anything, and they don't deserve to do anything. But because I was really sure of myself anyway. What am I trying to say? Now I'm just focused on kind of, I forget what I was saying there, but now I'm just kind of focused on improving the output of the work. Oh, sorry, what is making it? Well, making it to me, of course, in those days even, I would say, am I very realistic? I would say, listen, if you're going to be a fucking artist, you have to make a living from it. You can't not make a living from it. You can't be on the dole. You have to make a living from it. Eventually, you have to figure a way out to do that. You have to provide. You can't be a taker. You can't be a leech. And then people would say, oh, fair enough, because people would go, oh, what's making it? What's success anyway? You know, and that would be like, I was like, oh man, you've got no chance. But obviously, me and those people are still at the same level. So I was wrong, you know, I was wrong to speak like that or to think like that, to be delusional and arrogant and all that stuff. And delusional about my own capabilities. I mean, the stuff I used to think about myself, it's quite cringe actually. But it's this I'm a be a star shit. Maybe you don't want to be a star, you know. But I'm just coming to know myself a bit better, and I'm coming to realise that actually what I want is to produce great work, and in the industry I'm in, if I don't move on to something else or quit or whatever, notoriety will follow in some form. Money hopefully will follow in some form, more importantly. But it's not my fucking focus. I think when you're at that shit, it can sometimes be, in people, it can sometimes be coming from a place of desperation and not inspiration, you know, coming from a place of, I'll show them, you know, what's that shit about? I'll show them. They, you know, they don't deserve to be shown. Don't worry about them. They're not thinking about you. I just thought it was interesting. I'm a be a star. You know? But it was beautiful to make that film. I told him how I felt because it was like decent like ratio, decent comments, decent views, you know, it's just nice. Just nice to feel like, yeah, this is it, you know, this is it. And it just takes the pressure off, you know. Bit of quality over quantity, I'd say, boys. When I asked Moogle, when I was talking to Moogle on that New York subway and said, I want peace and success, two things which have been avoiding me, which have been evading me or whatever. What I've realized recently is actually, in my 20s, I think my need for success, my desperation, being the key word for success, robbed me of my peace. And then my lack of peace made success harder, because I'd self-sabotage and fall off the wagon and all this stuff with diet and whatever. Whereas now I'm kind of giving up on success and focusing on peace as my primary. And of course, like, you know, I'm closer to success than I've ever been before. But it's just kind of interesting. It's like, at the start of the year, I started uploading every day. Just uploading any shit. And then slowly I was like, oh, I'll get the quality a little bit better. And I was doing Brekkie Club and weight loss stuff and all this shit. And then I dropped kind of both of them. And then I moved up to Vox Pops and da-da-da-da, whatever. And now I'm just like, basically I'm honing in on what I don't want, and I'm honing in on what I want, and the standards that I want to kind of have on the channel. But yeah, I've made some mistakes in my life, but I think overall, considering what, you know, my experiences have been, what's happened to me, what I've experienced and what I've had to deal with, as regards how I spent my 20s, which is ending in 11 months, my 20s, I'd give myself like an 11 out of 10. I'm really happy with it. I'm really excited to move forward now and to know that this is my mission, you know, to find calm, this peace, consistency, focus, happiness, kindness, giving, you know, service. You know, I'm shifting, like I'm changing, and I'm getting a lot of nudes in quarantine, and A lot of girls are sending me naked photos of them, and doesn't. I don't feel the same way about receiving nudes as I used to. I want more. You know, I'm making this shift. I want substance. You know, I want love. I want health. I want peace. So I'm changing. There's a song by a guy called Kevin Parker or some shit. Tame Impala or whatever. Yes, I'm changing. Yes, it's true. Yes, I know that I'm in love with you. I forget. It's like talking about when you're changing and your friends don't want to accept that you're changing. I give myself a high mark because I have done a lot and I don't give myself credit for it. And I've made a lot of good, you know, changes. But it's crazy because I was actually watching this guy crossing the street in Dunboyne, and a couple of years younger than me, and from a problematic family, and clearly an alcoholic, and looks 50, and at the same time looks 25 his age, but his face, he's fucked, you know, and it's because of the family he's come from. He doesn't even, his struggle is like, he doesn't even know, just because, like, just in the same way that I was unconscious about my issues and what was running me, he is unconscious that it's a bad thing to fucking drink alcohol every day, you know, non-stop, you know. People, if you come from a bad place, in a way it's kind of brutal, but you can't expect the same. It would take a very enlightened individual to get out of that without becoming an alcoholic, for example, or whatever. Or for me, yeah. So that's why I give myself so much credit for my 20s, because although I fucked up a lot, you know, I tried my best at every turn, and I just didn't know better. And when you know better, you do better, and I'm beginning to know better. So sorry for being rather self-indulgent and talking about myself for coming on 20 mins, but you don't have to watch if you don't want to. And I just wish you well, and I wish you, you know, and I'm beginning to watch these celebrity interviews and just see them so differently. When they say, I was successful, I was rich, and I was dealing with depression, I was suicidal, I was this, I was that, it's starting to hit me. I'm starting to realize, I'm starting to go, it doesn't, that's not the thing we're all looking for, you know? That's not the thing we're all looking for, man. They're telling us all the time. Our society is so fucking fake and so deluded and so asleep. And when you actually listen to these people who've gotten to where you want to go, they go, I didn't give a shit, you know, it didn't mean anything to me. I was suicidal, I was this, was that. Saying that, I really want this quarantine to end. I'm really excited for the future, and I just hope I can. It's just crazy, dude. I feel like God is guiding me, man. Because every step of the way, all my fucking failures, they always make sense in time. So I'm just hoping I'll get back with my ex-girlfriend soon. I'll see you later.